Hello, book nerds. Welcome into another video. Today, I'm talking about the best books of the year so far. Also, new glasses. Who dis? What do we think? I have two pairs, but this one is a little fancier, so I'm trying them out for videos. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Anyway, guys, I'm so excited to do this video. I don't know if I've ever done this before because I don't normally have a lot of 5 stars, especially not so early into the year. But I'm going over the months of January to April is what I'm doing. And I'm telling you the best books that I've read so far. I have had 7 5-star reads within these months. So I'm excited to talk about them. And I'm just going to go in the order of when I read them, when they became 5 stars. So we're going to start out with my first 5-star of the year. And that was Valley of Dragons by Christina Baer. This is the 5th and final book in the Secret of Ormdale series, which if you have not read the Secret of Ormdale series, what are y'all doing? The first one up here, it's Wormwood Abbey. I'm sure y'all, once you see that, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm sure y'all have heard about it. This is kind of a cozy Christian fantasy, is how I like to think of it. And it is about a clergyman's daughter who ends up like deciding to run this estate that got like given to her dad, and like there's secret dragons and like this whole like world and everything. And it's such a cozy and fun story. And all of them had been like 4 to 4.5 stars for me. But this last one blew me away, guys. She blew me away. The way that she wrapped the series up, wove everything together, connected all the dots. And then the slow burn, romance coming to fruition. I don't know if that's a spoiler or not, but I just loved it. I adored it. I adored it. And it's also my favorite color. The rest of them are like dark, and this one is like all yellow and orange and gold and stuff. And I just love it. So that was my first 5-star of the year. My second 5-star was also in a series, and that was the second in a series. This is The Legends of Nesher by Chaney Hobson. It's the second in the Redemption Pirate series. This is another Christian fantasy. I know you're sitting here being like, K-Tree, who doesn't really like fantasy or read much fantasy, your first 2 5-stars of the year were fantasy books? Yes. I'm as surprised as you guys are. Let's just talk about it. I adore this series. I am so excited for the third one to come out this year. Hopefully, fingers crossed. This was so good. Now, guys, this gives kind of like Christian, Lost, Pirates of the Caribbean, Jurassic Park vibes all in one. The second one, this one, there were some dino scenes that I was like, I'm getting strong Jurassic Park vibes. Obviously not quite as graphic, but I'm getting them strong. And I've read the book, guys, so she did it so well. So well. I adored it. And the faith themes, I feel like she does it really well. And the way she's pushing the story forward and still having like new and creative things. And she stumped me. Like she did some things I wasn't expecting her to do in this one. So I was kind of like, oh, where's this going to go? But at the end of each book, I've always been like, oh my gosh, yes, it's a 5-star. It has to be a 5-star. I just love it so much. So I'm very excited. And guys, if the final one gets a 5-star, then that's going to be a whole series for me, fantasy series for me that is like all 5 stars, which would just be tremendous because I'm not the type of person who just gives like a whole series, like every book a 5-star. If every book is not a 5-star, it's not a 5-star. So it would be amazing if this was, but highly recommend the series if you're looking for those vibes. I adore it, and I adore her writing. All right, and the next book that I read and gave 5 stars was Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. This one surprised me. I read this for a Valentine vlog that I was doing of like reading and some of the most popular Christian romance books. So it surprised me though, because this has a lot of controversy around it because of the content, and it was heavy. There is a lot, but I loved it. I adored it. this was like gripping and heartbreaking and heart-wrenching and wholesome and just redeeming and showing the redeeming love of God so well. I adored it. I fell in love with it. And if you're okay with the content warnings and triggers and stuff, I would absolutely recommend you also picking it up and reading it yourself. All right, and the next I also read Of Love and Treason for that blog by Jamie Ogle. This is about Saint Valentine, so of course another heart-wrenching story. And it was done so well. This was the first ancient historical fiction that I read, and I really like this like era of fiction. I don't read biblical fiction, but like right after it and in that proceeding, I really like that. Very interesting. But I adored it. I don't know what else to say. Like the faith aspects in this is some of the best that I've ever seen. Like it was amazing and definitely made it worth a read for me. It is kind of heart-wrenching. We all know what happens to Saint Valentine. And there's like a romance in this and it was so good. It was so good. And I'm still slightly devastated. Right, and then we read Edenbrook by Juliana Donaldson. And this was an absolute treat. This was such a sweet treat for me. Oh my goodness. This was the happy, just bundle of joy and a book that I needed at this time. And it reminded me so much of me and my husband. So much of me and my husband. And I needed that. I needed that at that time. And honestly, I'm talking about it and I'm thinking about it and I want to read it again. The banter in this was adorable. The longing, just the romance. It was so cute. And guys, there was a mystery aspect of this book too, which like took me by surprise and I absolutely loved and adored it. So just a really solid, great romance, okay? And a great way to dip your toes into Regency. The next one that I read was A Voice in the Wind by Francine Rivers. Guys, this one was so devastatingly beautiful, to put it. Like, just if you guys can handle the content and trigger warnings, which I'll have down below, I would absolutely recommend this one. But there is a lot in this. It's heavy, but the faith aspects of this and the way it's shown is so good. It is amazingly good. Like, oh my goodness. There are still aspects of this and parts of this that I'm like thinking on and pondering on. And it was so good. And it's definitely going to be one that I come back and I read. And it's already a series that I'm going to make my husband read when he gets home. So it's definitely one that I think you can glean so much from. And I bet I'm going to glean different things and more things like through when I read it through a second time once I finish the series. Like it's just one of those books that like you're going to get so much from it with each read. And it just and Francine just has such a way of writing, like so beautifully done. I really hope that she never stops writing books. Is she still writing books? Does anybody know this? Can she just not stop? Because my heart, devastatingly beautiful. And then the last and final book that I read so far this year and gave a 5 stars was Love and Other Distractions by Tracy Bach. This is the last in the Love and Other series. It is a kind of like a interconnected standalone, I guess. She tries to make them to where you can just read them like as standalones, but they are so much better enjoyed if you have read from the beginning and you know all of their stories and like the past, and especially this one because it wraps it up and there's little things about how kind of, especially at the end, how they're all ending up. So that hits so much more when you've already read Lana and Mateo's story and Tegan and Brooke's story. So I just absolutely adored this one though. Amaya and Miguel. Miguel is Mateo's brother. So like Mateo is my favorite MMC, and having his brother, like there were just some aspects that were very similar and then there was some that was uniquely his own, but it just like it all worked so well and the dynamic between these two, it was so cute. And this is actually a workplace romance, which I've never really been too much into. I don't know why, because I met my husband when working. I'm not malfunctioning at all. Maybe it's because workplace romances are normally like CEO corporate type. And I met my husband like when working at Chick-fil-A. Like he was my fry guy. So, a bit of a different work setting. Maybe that's what it is. But I'm not normally as into this, but the way Tracy writes it, like you can tell she's gotten knowledge from people. She just writes it to where I get interested in it. And the banter and the longing and everything that's happening between the characters and just the sweetness and the conversations. I'm just loving all of it. And there were some really great faith aspects thrown into this one, which I really enjoyed. Please keep writing faith aspects into your books, Tracy, because I really, really love it when you do. Like, oh my goodness, the way that you just lightly put them in, but make them very boldly there. I really enjoy it. And I feel like it's really easy for people who haven't read Christian fiction or as much or whatnot, or even those who aren't, to still like read the book and not be overwhelmed or anything. Like, I feel like they're really good for that kind of in between. So, definitely highly recommend this series, but this is the last in the series. So start with my favorite, Love and Other Goals, and work your way to this one. But yeah, this one just gave me all the happy feels, and I'm very sad that the whole trilogy in the world is wrapped up now. All right, guys. So that is all my favorite books. I can hold them all in one hand right now. If I keep going at this rate, I'm not going to be able to say that by the end of the year, which is so exciting for me. But let me know down below, what are your favorite books so far this year? Do we have any similar favorites this year, or are any of these on my list favorites of yours from other years? I would love to hear about it down below. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you guys in my next one. I can't. Okay, hold on.